Welcome to the Wine Cage. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Amanda.
And it is New Year's Eve 2023. And we are just sitting down to have a sip of this Chapel Hill, the Parson McLaren Vale Grenache Shiraz Mourvèdre 2022. This is the bottle here. We've drank Chapel Hill quite a number of times, haven't we?
We have.
And it's usually been really good. This is a fairly inexpensive wine, but it tends to be reliable, quite good. Perhaps not so much this time. So, slight spoiler, but we'll get into that. As usual, though, let's talk about the label. What do you think about the art and graphic design on this one?
I mean, this is another fairly conservative one. I like the very faint gloss deboss of chain sort of pattern around the, I guess these are meant to be stained glass windows, ties into the whole Chapel Hill brand. Everything about it sort of does. This wine is called Parson, so a bit of a theme going on here. Generally, I think the label is nice. It's not gonna blow minds. It's not gonna stand out on a shelf and make you think, oh, I have to have that, or I really like how that looks. But it's tasteful. It's pleasant. It's easy on the eyes. What do you think?
I think the same. The label is just inoffensive. It's nice. It looks classy how it's dark. It's basically black and gold, so a pretty safe kind of design choice there. But how does it taste? And first, how does it smell? So, well, I mean, just looking at it first, I don't really have anything special to say about the way it looks. It just looks like red wine.
It looks a lot like red wine.
Nose-wise. So for me, the nose is really just a bit tart, a bit acidic smelling.
I actually don't mind the nose, but it's there's nothing kind of noteworthy about it. It just sort of smells a little dry, smells a little, it's sort of like generic red wine smell.
Yeah, the only positive I would really say about the nose on this is that it's got a slightly nice garden floral kind of smell. So it's got a little positive there, but you've got to look for that underneath the tart acidness, acidity. All right, let's see how it tastes. So, what do you think taste-wise on this one?
I'm going to say nothing about it's really standing out to me. It's not bad. Nothing bad is standing out, but nothing amazing is standing out either. It tastes sort of generic, I guess.
Yeah. My first impressions on this are that it's once again, it's fairly tart, a bit sharp up front, very dry, and also a little bit watery. So you've got tart, very dry to the point of like lemon, and then very watery. I think the biggest problem with this one is that after that upfront punch, it doesn't settle into anything interesting or smooth. It kind of just sits with like an acidic taste.
Yeah, I would even describe it as bitter in the aftertaste. It's not wildly pleasant. It's not awful, but if that's sort of the best thing you can say about it, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a disappointment for us, I guess, because, like we said, we've drunk Chapel Hill wines a bunch. Not this particular one before, but they've always been reliable. So despite our kind of reservations about this one, they definitely have some that are worth picking up.
Yes, totally. And we may have even had the GSM before, but I don't think this year. Maybe we had the 21 or something. But yeah, I don't want to make out that that we're saying this is a bad winemaker or anything like that. We've actually had real reliable, just kind of reliable drinkers with Chapel. Just this one, maybe they had a bad year. I'm not sure, but it's kind of a little bit, it's dropped down a notch from the other ones that we've had. So, what do you think you would give this out of 10?
I'm a little torn on that. Somewhere between a 5.5 and a 6. I think it's still it's good. It's not great. I think if you were having it with a nice meal, you probably wouldn't. You certainly wouldn't find much to complain about. It's just a little ordinary.
Okay.
How about you?
What about number-wise?
Number-wise, I think my final would be a 6.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with 5.5 on this one. I feel like 6 is pushing it up into that 6 to 7 range where you're really quite happy to drink it. I'm not that happy to drink this. I wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I mean, would you? This wouldn't be a repurchase.
It wouldn't be a repurchase, but I feel like for us, something needs to be over a 7.
Yeah, I agree. So I wouldn't repurchase it. Don't get me wrong. I'll drink it, and it's wine, so it's still a win. But this one is, I wouldn't purchase it again, and I wouldn't recommend it. As I say, they're usually a good winemaker, a good brand, so it's worth trying their wines. There's definitely going to be some good ones, and even if they've had a bad year, probably next year will be better. But with this one, just a slight disappointment and one that we wouldn't repurchase. And so I guess our New Year's can only go up from here.
Here's hoping.
Yeah. But anyway, but wines like pizza, it's still kind of good even when it's not great. So I don't want to come off like we're complaining. It's still a pleasure to drink, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that'll probably be it for another Wine Cage. This will be the last Wine Cage of 2023, even though we're only posting these next year. So we'll see you in 2024. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Cheers.
Cheers, Wolfie.